As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the yellow Protoss player of the yellow. Sorry, yellow pros. Sorry, you had some. We've been casting nothing about PvP today. We have a yellow Terran player, the Brazilian Terran, currently teamless. It is INexorable. Also a Rising Star, true. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of Czechia. It is Sebesdes. Representing Team Roddy. And if you're in the chats, you know what time it is. It is GABA time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chats as we jump into our TvP. Let's go. Our first non-PvP of the broadcast. Crazy, man. Crazy. Here we go. Now, as we get into this matchup here, what I was going to get into, double gas makes sense. INexorable, he's typically hyper aggressive. We often see one base all-ins, we often see two base all-ins out of INexorable, where he just double down, he just commits, he just sends it across the map. INexorable, especially in this matchup here, is very, very in the face of the pros. Very rarely do we see a third CC in a macro game out of INexorable. Now, in saying that, I haven't casted INexorable in like a month, maybe 2 months, pre-EWC. Pre-EWC, the Brazilian Soccer circuit was the last time we saw INexorable, so it's been a while. It's been a while, so we'll see if that style has changed. We'll see if he has more, or if he does more of the same. More of the same. So about double gas, faster factory, delayed CC. So already a more tech-heavy start out of INexorable. Hey, like, do I get any points if nobody bets against my guy? If no one bets against you, you don't earn anything, and if you lose the bet, you will lose everything. the house wins, baby. The house wins. They'll take it all. From my side, I don't really know who to favor coming into this series. I think INexorable in his prime would be quite close in skill to Sebesdes, but because INexorable has been taking some time off, knocked himself in, nicely done. But because he's been taking some time off, it's a little bit harder to judge here. I think now I lean towards Sebesdes instead. But we'll see. We shall see. Oh, as the Reaper should not be able to escape. No, with the Shade. Oh, my god, yeah. Shade does complete. Reaper goes down. You have a take of choice. Twilight Council, extra gateways so far. 2-gate blink. We should be getting up to around 3 gateways, just to be safe. And INexorable getting to his own 1-1-1. Hi, see, hi. Let's go. So I'm looking into investing into wireless cameras. They exist, right? I think so. Okay. Looking into it. Meanwhile, we do have our drop into the main. Marine Cyclone does move in. And so far, losing the medevac though. Tells us medevac it's going to be a one-way trip. Trades against the Stalkers, but he will lose the Cyclone. Getting another Stalker. Getting a second. Do we get a third? Nah, not quite. Not quite. So we do have a bit of a trade here. 2 Stalkers for a medevac, a Cyclone, Reaper, and 4 Marines. I would say it's a better trade for Sebesdes. INexorable, the drop stages don't stop. Okay. Doesn't stop, just keep going. Keeps on going, keeps on moving out. Again, rallying over. It does rally in. Meanwhile, Sebesdes is out of position this time. Okay, not expecting the second drop, but not really achieving too much damage. Gets 3 probes, forces a recall. INexorable does pull back, does pull away. Behind this building are more tanks, and not going for the add-on swap for the starport, does go for the swap instead for stim. So earlier stim out of INexorable, no Banshee, no Raven. So we got earlier stim, earlier tank production. We're building up towards that stim timing. It's going to be on Sebesdes to contain the Terran player. Behind this, we have 3 gates, I believe. Yeah, 3 gates. 3-gate blink into a robo. From here, Sebesdes will expand, will get his third base, and contain the Terran. Go. So this is likewise rallying on the right hand side. Also initiate, does move out. We did mention that the stim timing is still upon us. Stim is still a little bit of a ways away. It'll finish up by the time the armor gets across the map. INexorable is pushing. And Sebesdes, he's trying to slow this down. Gets a couple of Marines. Ideally, he wants a tank. But Marines are going down. INexorable moving in. Let's move in, gets one of the Stalkers, tank save, gets a siege, Liberator does full. Yeah, it looks like he's being shut down. Yes, Stalkers, they just go straight for the tanks. Medevac cannot engage. There's no Marines, and INexorable here will lose everything. These are brutal losses. Never got a chance to siege. GG gets called, the all-in does fall in its face, and Sebesdes takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, an unfortunate move out. Unfortunately, INexorable, he just never had a chance. Never had a chance to siege up, to actually make use of that kind of army. He was trying to get across the map, but because Sebesdes had so much map control, because he was already active outside of the natural, he could slow it down. And even though he didn't initially pick off any tanks, he got rid of all the Marines. And what that meant was, without any Marines, the tanks could never siege. Once they tried to, they'd just be targeted down. They'd just be targeted down then and there. So INexorable, he just kept trying to force his way forward. Alas, GG. GG, well played. Did lose everything in the process. Now we're getting to game number 2, and we'll see if INexorable can bounce back. We'll see if he can bounce back. We'll see if he has a different kind of build up his sleeve here. Again, the initial opener wasn't too bad, but we'll see. As we load into a much larger map of the map pool, higher chance we go into a longer game. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have our Brazilian Terran player. We have the yellow Terran down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is INexorable. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his button. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss from land of Czechia, representing Team Roddy, leading the series 1-0. It is Sebesdes. What? No PvP? I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Is this even StarCraft? What is this human race? What are they doing here? Trying to go up against the advanced aliens? Mate, they're crazy. Notice people don't bet games without famous players. I mean, I think that a lot of people that watch StarCraft, I mean, there's a lot of like hardcore viewers for sure that watch on a regular basis, but at the same time, I'm sure there are people that tune in like maybe once every now and then, and there's a lower chance that they're familiar with these players, right? Like, if you've been watching the CranKy Ducklings, especially the Brazilian circuit, you know INexorable, but again, as I mentioned, Sebesdes, he doesn't play too much, he doesn't compete too often in tournaments, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are just taking a step back from betting on some of these players, because it's like, oh, who's the clear favorite? Like, it's hard to say. I said that I lean towards Sebesdes, but even then, like, it's, you know, it's more of a gamble, Whereas, I don't know, if you have like Max versus Bjorn, then you have a better idea of like the caliber of skill of these players, so you can come in with a little bit more confidence as to who you believe is going to be favored in that match between like Max and Bjorn, or Hero and Solar, just because you know the players a lot more, just because you've seen them play a lot more as well. You can make like a better, like educated like prediction for that sort of thing. Whereas for lesser known players, especially if you don't watch every day, if you don't watch their region too often, then you know, not as much confidence sort of thing. I would imagine. There's like less of a drive to Gamba. Regardless, we're going to be opening up. Once again, double gas opener, faster factory, delayed TC out of INexorable, so the same build 2 games in a row. Same build. When in doubt, bet Protoss. True. Reaper does rotate. Does pick in, does pull away. So far, we are going to be settling in. Once again, Sebesdes is going to be working towards Blink. So Twilight Council into Blink. We do have our 3-gate setup here at Sebesdes. Meanwhile, INexorable across the map, this time going for a mine drop. Okay, now as a reminder, last game we had Tech Lab on the factory into a Cyclone drop, followed by a tank drop, then into the tank push, just because tank production was beginning so early on. This time it is going to be a Widow Mine drop opener instead. Less dedicated, there's less gas invested into this drop, and we do see INexorable get into earlier tank production as a result. So tanks are amassing. We'll see if once again we go for the swap into earlier stim. This looks like a similar setup. Not the same, but similar. As INexorable does threaten the pylon. Pylon does go down. Mine shot. Oh! Doesn't quite go off. Does on board, but Widow Mine does thankfully survive. Widow Mine survives, tanks are building up. There's that add-on swap into earlier stim. So even though the opener itself was different because we didn't make any cyclones, didn't go for the tank drop, we're still building up those early tanks and still getting into early stim. INexorable dropping into the main. Doesn't really get much. Gonna be forced out. It's forced out. Oh no. As down goes the medevac, the Widow Mines, the Marines as well, so a rough loss there for INexorable. Sebesdes now can move out. There's nothing to keep him back. The drop was keeping him pinned back at home because we could always threaten a drop into the main. Without the medevac, Sebesdes has gained map control, is pushing across the map, and just like last time, now Sebesdes can just park himself outside of the base and can even... crazy blink! Yeah, crazy blink as Sebesdes does take down the tank. Gets a tank, still bleeds out a couple of stalkers. Again, a very awkward kind of blink there from Sebesdes. But still gets a tank nonetheless. Sebesdes pulls away. But again, right now it's on Sebesdes to contain the Terran player. And you see what I see? Third CC. Last game, INexorable went for a 2-base all-in. This time he's expanding. This time does expand. Observer gets away from the scan. Observer does survive. Sebesdes is going to be claiming his third base, getting fully saturated. Behind this, after blink, getting to charge. Storm is on the way. Storm is going to be splash damage of choice. Not going into Colossus. That's one thing. Sebesdes gets a Marauder, picks up a couple of Marines for a Stalker. Stalker goes down. We're peeling off here to go for a drop. Despite Sebesdes having map control here, despite the, I mean, the observer did see. Yeah, he should have seen the medevac moving out. There's a chance he missed it. Yeah, Sebesdes, he pulls away. There is that spotted pylon. Storm is revealed. We do have 2 more High Templar, 2 more Storms. Making the way towards the mineral line. Skirting around the edge. INexorable, you can see he's getting in position. He's aware. He's aware that he can be threatened. Does miss the Prism though. Just the 1 Marine. And Sebesdes, yeah, he does still go for the mineral line, forcing INexorable out. Yeah, it does force him to evacuate. Now going into the main. Barely any mining going on. Do we just send it? Wait, what? Where are we going? There we go. So he does head towards the 3rd. So again, just 0 economy for a couple of seconds there. Does pull away. There's a recall back home. And there it is. I was curious. We just send it. The boys are in fact being pulled. I mean, INexorable's taken so much damage. He's pushing into 3 storms, and more than that, so many storms. Their storms are popping up. Landing on the SCVs. That's so many workers going down. The Marines are now coming in. Do we have any storms left? The answer is yes. Yeah, there's still, what, 2, soon to be 3 storms. Oh. Here it does spend 1. 2 more storms remaining. Down to 1. And that's the final storm. Oh god, that storm was insane. Yeah, the storm pops up, and Sebesdes, he will clean everything up. GG, well played, Sebesdes. He will claim the series 2-0. He will take down INexorable and advance on to the next round. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations, Sebesdes. He will claim the series. INexorable taking a bit of a different approach here. Hey, I was convinced as well. You know, we saw a 3rd CC. I was like, yo, INexorable, he's gonna expand. He's gonna macro. Nah. He pulls the boys instead. Of course, he had to pull them away because of the storm drops, and I don't know if that was the initial plan to go for the all-in, or if because of the storm drops, because of the denied economy, he felt like he had to pull the boys and he had to go for the all-in because he was so far behind. It's hard to say which one it really was coming into it, but regardless, GG well played, and he had to commit, and we saw that Sebesdes was just all over him, had plenty of High Templar. He had 5 High Templar, 5 storms in total, and they popped up. There was like 1 storm that missed, but outside of that, like the storms were brutal. GG. Oh, GG, well played. And now we can catch up on the bracket. We can catch up on the brackets as we do have some updates here. Okay, so of course, from the top, we had Art. Art took down Jomek at the start of the broadcast. He's waiting for the winner of Honmono and Pappy in the next round. Meanwhile, the other Art took down F2 Click and took down Shameless. Again, that was a very impressive win. Likewise, Sebesdes took down Hydra, took down INexorable, and we have Art versus Sebesdes coming up soon. TM. That'll most likely be in the coming weeks, as remember, this is a month-long event, a couple of months even, to go through the entire tournament. So far, we have worked through a good portion of the bracket, and we have more matches coming up later on tonight. Later on tonight, we're going to be featuring Sig versus Middle VK. I believe that's going to be a lower match. Let's see. Yeah, scrolling down, here we go. Scrolling down a little bit, Sig versus Middle VK into Percival, we're going to be covering those matches. Likewise, we're going to be covering Mini Zerg versus Moja into Iba as well. And we're also going to be covering Babe Marine versus Night Phoenix. So this portion, this little segment of the bracket is going to be covered tonight. That's going to be tonight here under the 5 best of 3s. Honestly, like this broadcast was really short, covering 5 matches here. But a lot of that reason is PvPs. Like these PvPs that was so fast, that was so fast, that was so quick. I can see Sig versus Middle VK being a fast one as well. But some of these other matches feature different races. Here, Mini Zerg versus Moja, Zerg versus Terran. Moja is willing to play mech as well. We have Percival up against a Protoss player. That's going to be a shorter one. Percival is hyper aggressive like INexorable. He's very aggressive. He's very all in. So that'll be a shorter series. Mini Zerg and Moja into Eva. That'll also be a bit of a longer one. Bay Marine versus Night Phoenix. I can see that being a bit of a quirky one as well. So there's a higher chance of these best of threes are going to be a little bit longer in how long in their length, in their matches, in their series. So again, we're going to be covering that later on tonight. The plan here is to have a 2 broadcasts. Man, we can see our schedule. You can see what we have ready for you this week. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday morning broadcast, and tonight, Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. KST, that's going to be 8 p.m. AEST. That's going to be in 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be well rested. I'm going to go sleep. We're going to be well rested and ready for the second half of the broadcast with 5 more best of threes. 5 best of threes. Likewise, tomorrow you can see here we're going to be live with the Biggest Cup. Biggest Cup is going to be Wednesday. We have the Podcast on Thursday. We have Sunny Lake Cup on Friday. We have the RSL Season 2 qualifiers on Saturday morning and evening. And we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup on a Sunday. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft on the horizon here. Take care. Take care, everyone. Just catching up in the chat. Now coming light ladder to compensate short broadcast. No, Sean. No, Sean. I did not get much sleep, so the plan is to get some sleep before the next cast. Ugh. And on top of that, I'm not going to be streaming because we have a near and dear friend of the channel that is streaming currently instead. Babylings is live, so give Babylings some love. I'm going to be rating Babylings here as she has been very inactive on stream, but she has been very vigilant when it comes to laddering and playing Star. I mean, she's always been known she's just an insane grinder when it comes to playing StarCraft. She has like hundreds of games already this season and tens of thousands in her career of Star. It's crazy. she ladders a lot, and she had GM when yesterday. I want to say yesterday she had GM, so really strong performance. Plays so much more than I do. I don't have time to play anymore. I'd love to, but yes, gonna be getting some rest here. We're too busy casting instead of laddering. Smurge. But as you can see on our schedule, because we're going to be casting Pegasus Cup tomorrow and we have an empty slot Wednesday evening, I do plan on casting Pegasus Cup and then actually streaming and laddering tomorrow. That'll be the plan. And that'll be the plan on Wednesday and on Friday as well after the Sunny Lake Cup. So Wednesday and Friday, I do plan on streaming. Maybe Thursday before the podcast as well. Maybe. The problem with Thursdays is before the podcast, usually I catch up on all the interviews. Like there's a lot of interviews that do occur throughout the week that are StarCraft related, and I usually have to just go through all the videos, take some notes, and then talk about them during the podcast. So depends how much there is to watch. Depends. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it. S2 historian release Clem's interview. Yes. Get for Pond. it's already on the list. I think that's his second interview. There was another one that he conducted, if I remember correctly. SC2 historian. Because the Clem one was the recent one, but we're gonna be talking about classic. That's it. So he did a classic interview and a Clem interview, so we're gonna be doing both of those. And there's like a bunch of other stuff as well. Let's double check here. I can give you a teaser. Maybe. Podcast notes. But yes, we'll be discussing at least those two things. At least those two. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. We do appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time. See you guys later on tonight in 8 hours for the second half of the Rising Star tournament. Again, featuring all the Rising Stars, Rising Talent in StarCraft 2. Thanks for watching, and give some love to the players. Give some love to Eddie for running the tournament, running the event. If you want to support us even further, you can do so via following us on all the socials. If you see something that you like, if maybe you're in Europe, if you're in the Americas, and if in 8 hours you're not going to be awake because you're going to be asleep because you're in the Americas, and you can watch the VODs. You can watch the VODs over on YouTube. So check us out over on our YouTube channel. We do upload on YouTube on a daily basis. All the content. Yes, with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.